Hey, my name's Wild. Used to be. Used to be Hellraiser when I was a kid. Didn't give a crap about much except partying and being silly, being wild. It was a lot of fun. I grew up one day, I had a daughter, changed my whole life. In an incubator struggling, I thought, oh my God, I'm at the end of the world. I couldn't lose this child. Well, that child changed my life. I started paying attention to everything. Politics. Hated it. I hated it because they all lie. And they all lie so much it's ridiculous. And then it was Hillary Clinton against Donald Trump. I told my wife at the time, Hillary's going to win because it's rigged. It's rigged. They trick everybody right before voting. They give a bunch of free stuff away. They lower the gas prices. It's a pattern. It's been going on since I was a child. I watched it with my parents. Well, let me tell you something. When Donald Trump won, it changed how I thought about things. I used to think Donald Trump was an arrogant ass. I really did. But I've watched him become humbled over the last 8 years or 10 years, whatever it's been now. And I've watched all the idiots come out of the woodwork. Oh my God. And that's when I realized that the news, you could flip to any channel after Donald Trump had spoke somewhere, and they would all be saying the same narrative, the same exact words. And then I noticed that I started watching Senate hearings and stuff, so I'm like, what is going on with this country? So I started seeing it there too. It's a pattern. They're not speaking for themselves. They're paid. They're all in it together. They're paid. And then I noticed that there's some Republicans. They would be all Republican and, this and that until it came time to vote. Then they'd vote democratically. So, there's money going on here. So this new AI thing that's out is very interesting. If you follow the money and see who makes the most money, you'll find the corrupt ones. That's really easy to do. And everybody says Donald Trump's corrupt. I don't think he is. I really don't. He's done more for America in the 4 years that he was in, but could you imagine if he wasn't fighting Russia, Russia, Russia? I've heard that all my life. I've delved into Russian stuff too. Russian people are pretty cool people. I like the country. I like their architecture. Their government's dirty too. But they don't use America as their scapegoat every time you turn TV and all you hear is Russia. How long do you think it takes for Americans to figure out that it's a lie? I mean, come on, really. So I'll tell you what, don't waste your vote this year. Don't waste it. Research on your own. I'm not telling you to vote for it, but I'm going to vote for who I think's the right person. That's who we're talking about. I don't think the truck drivers in this country would be doing what they do. The thing for the, $500 million, what it's going to turn into before it's over with? I've never seen nothing like that in my entire life. And they say that Engarad or Engaran or whatever his name is, I know what his name is, but I'm just making fun of him. He's biased. And he's pussy whipped by his wife because he couldn't come home and say he left him go. Oh boy. And then their ethics, his ethics are horrible. And I noticed that amongst the Democratic Party too, that these people would just sleep with anybody. And I come to the conclusion, what about the missing children? 80,000 plus missing children from the border? It's scary. It could be our children. It could be your children. It's really sad that they're doing what they do to us. And the border crisis, if you don't think that's a crisis, it's just not in Texas and down along the southern coast. It's north of us, too. I'm in Ohio, and it's north of us. There's people coming across. They're dumping out their prisons, and that is true. They are dumping out their prisons and sending them here. Wouldn't you, if you had the opportunity, you ran a country, get rid of all your deplorable people and send them to America? Yes, you would, to make your country better. They're destroying this country. And if you don't think the immigrant thing's going to get out of hand, oh boy, just give it another couple of years. Wait till they stop feeding and paying them. They want them to vote right now. Do you want them to vote? I don't want them to vote. They don't even speak English. They don't even know what the Statue of Liberty is for. Come on. These people that came here, they had to go through that process. That's like taking a piss on them. I'm proud to be an American. Oh yeah, I'm white. Look at me. I'm white. Well, you look at me sideways. I'm Native American. My mom was, but she was ashamed of it. She was ashamed of it. She didn't want anybody to know that she was Native American. It bums me out so much because my whole life would have been so much different. To me, I'm proud of it. I dig into it. I don't even have family that even cares about that. The government don't have no effect on our lives. Oh, yes, they do. They show it every time they're on TV. Joe Biden wants to forgive all this debt. Well, forgive my loan on my house then. No, I don't want that. I want to pay it myself. I'm tired of all these people wanting stuff for free. Oh my God. That's not how this country was built. Why don't we do this? Why don't we start putting the money that goes to our taxes to use here and not in Ukraine or anywhere else? These guys, that war is just to spend money. Didn't we go through this thing with this Russia laptop bullshit where Hunter Biden got all this money from Ukraine? Don't know nothing about being on any board. All he knows about is getting high, swindling money. And his dad was involved for sure. It's weird how it hasn't been dealt with, and him kicked out of office. It's really sad. But anyway, get back to the vote thing. Whatever you got to do. These people are dug into our small towns. These Democrats that are Republicans. It's scary, man. This country's going to turn into a communist country. You want your kids growing up in a communist country? I don't. It's really sad what's going on. I'm heartbroken by this. I want my country back. It's crazy. Vote wisely. Do some research. Don't listen to anybody else but yourself. And don't listen to the news because they don't know what they're doing. Do some research. You got AI right in your hand. Do some research. If you care about your kids or your grandkids, you better check out who you're voting for. Trump 24. That's all I can say. Trump 24. Trump's a good man. He's got a good family too. Peace.